Alright, so after talking with Leanna and just learning a little bit more about why she became a Mage-Knight and a little bit more about the history of the town, I think we're just going to run on down the line here and, see what Amelia's up to. I wonder what Amelia is doing. I make a big loop around the town, but don't find her anywhere. Racking my brain, I try to think of things that Amelia would be interested in. Huh. Maybe a library or museum or something bookish. I make another lap around town, but don't find those places. Well, I'm making no progress just wandering around. I better return to the inn. I make my way back and am surprised to see a familiar set of pigtails sitting quietly at one of the tables. Amelia looks up at me as I approach her.
Greetings.
Hey. She makes no indication to speak again. I don't think she ever makes any indication that she's going to speak. What are you doing here?
I am awaiting the rest of our group at our designated meeting point.
Right, but we still have a lot of time before the others are going to show up. She blinks.
Yes, I'm well aware of that information.
Don't you want to explore the town?
No.
I continue to stare at her, so she explains.
I do not possess the contacts of Kara to pursue a lead on our next destination, nor are there any familiar channels of leisure for me in the city. The only option available is to reconvene with the rest of the group. Hence, I'm awaiting everyone's return.
You're weird. Familiar channels of leisure. Is that her way of saying there's nothing fun here? Well, at least to her, yes. There has got to be something fun to do around here. She shakes her head.
From my understanding, there is no library or museum.
Fun is a broad term. That's not fun. Well, fun is a broad term. Are those the only places you've looked for? She nods. Fun could mean more than just that. Have you tried looking for someplace with games or something? She cocks her head to the side and looks at me curiously. Like... I pause as I try to think of what type of games would be in this world. Maybe stuff you'd find at a fair? Ring toss, or knife throwing, or whack-a-mole. Amelia pauses.
Perhaps you are describing a carnival.
Yeah, that's it. I'm describing a carnival.
I did not seek out that information, but I believe I may know the location of what you are seeking.
Really? That's great. We should go. She pauses as she thinks, then gets to her feet.
I suppose frequenting an establishment such as that could be considered a form of learning.
That's right. Let's go. Amelia exits the inn and heads confidently out into the streets. I keep up as she turns onto side streets, and before long, she pauses in front of an open alley. It reminds me of the fairs and carnivals we have back home. People set up their stalls along the sides, but instead of selling wares, they advertise activities. There are stalls offering targets to test your skills, like weapons throwing, or stalls which will guess your weight or age. Amelia glances at me.
Is this what you were suggesting?
This is even better than I imagined. Which one do you want to check out?
I am content to merely observe.
That's no fun. You should try one. She doesn't seem to be interested in choosing. I guess that means I'll have to choose for her. Oh, great. Maybe we should go for something more engaging like target throwing. Looking around at the stalls, I don't recognize what half of these options are. There's something with floating circles and something else with bottles. I pause when I see the stall with dischargers. Finally, something I recognize. This shouldn't be too different from the shooting ranges back home. Let's try shooting the dischargers. Amelia gives me a strange look. Yes, I'm a strange child. Let's go.
An interesting choice.
Her tone suggests this is not something she'd try on her own, but she follows me to the stand anyways, so she wants to try. The man behind the counter grins at us.
Think you have what it takes to win? Hit 3 out of 5 shots to win a prize.
You ready?
Perhaps if you attempt it first, I can observe you and then attempt it myself.
That takes away the fun. Are you trying to tell me a discharger is too difficult for you? Amelia shakes her head dismissively.
Nonsense. Dischargers are merely a simple tool. I, on the other hand, have extensive magic training. This is nothing more than an exercise in coordination. I will attempt it.
Oh, so she's not going to back down from my challenge. Great.
That'll be 2 coins, miss.
She places the coins on the counter, and he swipes at it with a discharger. Or swaps it out with a discharger.
There are 5 rounds loaded in there. Have at it.
Amelia clutches the discharger and holds it in front of her. She squints one eye and as she lines up her aim, then squeezes the trigger. A bolt of energy shoots out of the barrel, and Amelia lets out a small gasp at the kickback. Simple tool, huh? Really not that simple anymore, is it? The shot is wide, and she misses the target. Amelia's eyes are also wide as she studies the discharger with interest.
How curious.
Have you ever shot one of these before? She shakes her head.
The opposing force was unanticipated.
Not really a simple tool, is it?
This time I will be prepared.
She lines up her aim and fires again. Anticipating the kickback, she fights to keep her aim straight, but can't stop the slight jerk of the weapon. Again, her shot misses. She frowns and seems surprised at herself, as if she can't believe that she's continuing to miss. She fires again, but aims too high and misses. Then fires once more and shoots wide. For her final shot, she aims too low and misses again. Her face falls when she realizes she's all out of shots. Good attempt. Everyone sucks the first time. Let her be. No, we'll say it's a good attempt. That's not too bad for a first try. You were close to the target each time.
Not good enough.
Good try, miss. But unfortunately...
Amelia interrupts him by placing more coins on the counter.
I would like another attempt.
I'm surprised by the determination in her voice.
As you wish.
He takes the coins and resets the discharger with more rounds. Amelia fires again and again, but never quite hits the target. She throws down the discharger and raises her bracelet, an unusual fire in her eyes. They begin to glow. Hey, what are you doing?
I will hit the target.
You've got to use the discharger.
This discharger is clearly defective and not utilizing the energy properly. I will use my magic to prove it to you.
I don't need to have it proven to me. I have no doubt in your skills casting magic, but shooting a discharger is a new skill. You shouldn't give up. Amelia doesn't react. Are you really going to let a measly little discharger get the best of you? The more you shoot it, the better your aim will be, and you'll be hitting those targets in no time. She considers my words. Her jaw unclenches, and she lowers her arm. She picks up the discharger again with new resoluteness. As she lines up the shot, she takes her time before shooting. This time, her shot is much closer to the target. Closer to the bed, baby. Amelia nods, as if confirming something to herself. She shoots again, and her shot is even closer to the target. On her last shot, her face hardens, as determination sets in. This time, she painstakingly lines up her shot and steadies her grip. As she pulls the trigger, she uses her body to help keep her steady from the kickback, and her shot hits the target. Her eyes light up as she throws her arms in the air and hops up and down with excitement.
I hit it! I hit it!
Would you just look at her? She is adorable when she's not being nerdy beyond belief. She's so happy.
Did you see?
She turns to me with a big smile on her face as she jumps excitedly. Her pigtails bounce along with her and she claps her hands. She's so cute. Celebrate with her. I'm happy for her. I mean, she is so cute, but I'm going to celebrate with her. Just make this a fun thing. I jump up and down with her. You were awesome. She looks up at me with a huge grin. Suddenly, her face turns red and she freezes. I see the moment of embarrassment on her face before she resumes her usual blank stare. Yeah, okay.
It was only a matter of time before I got the correct calculations.
Yeah, whatever. I know what that face is. I watch enough anime to know that face is, yes. I wasn't just caught doing something I completely out of character. No, not at all. Me? No.
Anyway, I shall return in a moment.
She rushes off in a hurry towards the ladies' room, probably to recompose herself. I guess I'll wait here then. She still didn't win that prize, though. Maybe I can win it for her. It'd be a good friend thing to do. I address the shopkeeper. Hey, I'll give it a go. I've done my fair share of paintballing back home. It should be somewhat similar. I place my coins on the table, and the man hands me a discharger. The first round misses as I familiarize myself with the weapon. My second attempt hits the target, as does my third. Unfortunately, my next attempt misses as I misjudge my aim. This is it. I steady my aim and fire. Miss, fail, hit. I'm gonna hit it. Why wouldn't I hit it? Why wouldn't I want to hit it? Though I am curious what does happen if we fail. My aim is true, and I hit the target. Yes! I put down my discharger and pump my fist in the air. The man grins.
Nicely done. Well, here's your prize. Congratulations.
Thank you. He hands me a pink Pongo plushie. No, we're not getting you a friend. Thanks. Amelia returns, and her eyes grow wide when she sees my plushie.
How did you acquire this?
Magic. It's the prize from the game. She looks at me with surprise and seems impressed.
You attempted the game, and you were successful?
Yep.
I see.
She eyes the discharger booth again. I hold out the plushie. This is for you. She blinks.
But you earned this.
I already have a Pongo. I don't need another one. I place the plushie in her hands. You're not arguing with me on this one. You're getting it. Let's check out another stall.
Okay.
I turn around and begin walking. But not before I catch the small smile on Amelia's face as she hugs the plushie close to her. As we wander the stands, I think about Amelia and her Magecaster program. So, I've been wondering, as a student at the Mage Academy, won't coming on this adventure with us affect your classes?
That is not an issue for me, as I do not have classes.
You don't? She shakes her head. Oh, then what have you been working on?
My research studies. A significant component to becoming a Magecaster is research study. That is my focus and basis for participating on our travels.
So you just have to document research of a subject area of your choice, and you're done?
To put it so plainly does a disservice to the amount of effort involved in formally achieving the status of Magecaster. But ultimately, you are correct.
I like to keep things simple. I'm understanding just the rudiments of it all. I know there's a whole bunch of work that goes into the overarching details of everything, but basic point is you're doing the study of your choice, and then you become a Magecaster after you document everything. Sounds a bit like she's working on the equivalent of her dissertation. So, if that's it, why haven't you done it already?
It is not so simple. I had taken into consideration furthering the research on temporal rifts and the other parallel worlds. But such an endeavor would have been fruitless without an avenue for further research.
That explains her fascination with Elder Ism and Ember Mist. And then I came along. She smiles.
Precisely.
Aren't you worried the Mage Academy will come looking for you?
After departing the Academy, I did ensure that a notification would reach my professors to inform them that I am currently traveling on a research study. These studies are quite numerous and common amidst my peers.
I see. Amelia pauses in front of a stall.
Shall we attempt this activity?
What is it? Sure. We spend some more time trying out the other stalls before we decide to leave. Amelia returns to the inn, but I decide to stay out a little longer. With that done, I think about my next steps. Now, I know I said at the beginning of the video that I'm going to start and work my way on down here, but if I'm remembering this particular town correctly from Early Access, and again, I'll leave the link to that playlist in the description down below. I'm actually going to skip doing Zack for right now. I'm going to do him last, because I want to see what Kara's up to first and save Zack for the very end. So let's find Kara. Maybe I can help Kara with her search. I search the streets of the city, but seem to always miss her. I wonder where she is and what kind of people she's talking to. Oh well, I'll see her when we meet back up. I guess I'll try something else. With that done, I think about my next steps. Alright, let's go see what Zack's up to at the end. Based on previous patterns, it shouldn't be difficult to figure out where Zack went. I make my way to the inn. To my surprise, Zack isn't standing in front of the bounty board. Instead, he sits alone at a table, nursing a tankard. Looks like Zack's starting early. I'm sure if I join him that'll be my entire day. Screw it. Let's do it. I'll come back later. No thanks. I don't drink. No, I do enjoy my adult beverages from time to time. Not going to come back later. This is the last thing to do. So screw it. Let's do it. This is why I'm saving Zack for last. If it's going to take the entire day, that's why I'm saving him for last. I don't have anything else going on. Let's get this party started. Zack looks up at me, then returns to his drink. Hang out, but don't drink. Have 1 or 2 drinks. Challenge Zack to a drinking match. You know, as they say, go big or go home. And I can't go back home. I'm stuck in Terra, so I'm going big. We're gonna drink. I grab myself a drink and join Zack at the table. He nods a greeting at me, which I return. Then I take a deep drink from my mug. Watching me, Zack takes a swig from his tankard. I don't feel much like talking, and to no one's surprise, neither does Zack. I take another deep drink, which Zack matches, watching me closely. Is that how it's going to be? As Zack lowers his mug, I throw back the rest of my drink and give him a challenging grin, just... There you go. You ready to go? You ready? Let's do this. He nonchalantly finishes off his drink too and returns my look. I signal for another round of drinks. When they arrive, I place one in front of me and the other in front of him. He considers me for a second, then accepts the drink. He can't back down from a challenge. Look at his face. He can't say no. Zack leans his head back as he nearly empties his mug. I race to finish before him, but he slams his tankard down first. Not bad. This will be more of a challenge than I thought. Another round of drinks is ordered, and we throw that back too. This time, I chug faster than he does and slam my tankard down victoriously. My face flushes as I grin widely, but Zack pretends not to notice. Instead, he just signals for more drinks. My head begins to feel light as I chug this next round. Zack's face is beginning to get flushed. As I finish my drink first, he frowns. When the next order of drinks arrive, Zack chugs his drink in record time and flashes me a wide grin as he slams down his mug. So 2-2. I love this music. Ha! Zack said a thing. For some reason, that feels inexplicably funny. My thoughts are fuzzy. As I drink even more, they slip in and out of my mind. Zack begins swaying in his seat as he finishes another drink. I put down my tankard a half a second after he does. His words slur as he speaks.
Your first mistake was to take on the mercenary of drinking. They don't call me the Death Slinger for nothing.
I burst into laughter and have trouble catching my breath. Seriously? Death Slinger? That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Zack purses his lips in a serious frown as he tries to hold back his laughter. But the more I laugh, the harder it is for him to resist until he's finally laughing with me. He pushes his hair away from his face and sticks out at a weird angle. What's with that hairstyle, dude? Another fit of laughter erupts. I try to bring my tankard to my lips, but miss and slosh beer on my shirt. Oh, I'm wasting beer. Zack doubles over in another wave of laughter.
You don't even know how to hold your mug properly.
You can't even speak, so shut up.
It's like you're from another world or something.
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me. He grins and almost misses the table as he tries to lower his mug, still barely cohesive from the laughter. Shh! It's a secret! I can't stop the giggles either. We're beginning to attract some stares from the other patrons. He stands.
You don't even know what a discharger is.
I know what a discharger is.
Oh yeah? What is it?
shoot finger guns, a deadly weapon in my pants. A gun. I kind of want to just roll with it because we're drinking and the filter comes off. But finger guns seems more appropriate here. Finger guns. Is that thing you discharge? You know, I point my fingers as if they were guns and pretend to shoot. Pew, pew. Zack mimics me and points his finger guns back at me.
Pew pew.
That's great. He stumbles and falls back into his seat. Zack and I spend the rest of the afternoon laughing and drinking. For once, he's animated and expressive, completely different from what I'm used to. Time passes in a blur, but it is certainly fun. Hey, Zack? Before I can continue, I'm interrupted by a familiar voice.
Oh, good. You're both here.
Shh, she's here. Don't tell her I'm in love with her. Leanna, Kara, and Amelia approach our table.
Did you notice how dark it is outside? We talked to a guard and...
She trails off mid-sentence when she notices the expression on our faces. Zack wears a twisted grimace as he tries to emulate his stoic appearance. I glance at him and try to hold back my laughter. Zack leans in and whispers,
Be cool. Maybe they won't notice.
"Shut up, you're gonna get us had." I look at Leanna's concerned face and whisper back, "I don't think they've noticed." Kara leans in, and my eyes are immediately drawn to her oh great.
Seems like you guys have been spending your time wisely.
You're just jealous you didn't join. Zack looks at Kara as if noticing her for the first time. He squints, trying to keep her in focus. This is going to be rich. Kara raises an eyebrow, then smiles.
Yes?
You look familiar. Very familiar.
She blinks in surprise, then smirks playfully.
I do? Like who?
Oh, like this one girl I met recently. We actually started adventuring together.
He's so drunk he can't even remember what he's doing. Kara grins.
Oh yeah? Tell me more about her.
Zack rubs his chin, thinking. Is this guy playing dumb or actually clueless?
What can I say? She's resourceful, friendly, knows all sorts of history stuff.
Kara blushes, but doesn't interrupt as he continues listing off more traits.
Oh, and she's fit. Very, very fit.
And she's blushing too. He wears an impish grin and leans in as if sharing a secret.
And apparently, quite limber.
Nope, he's just playing dumb. Kara hides a laugh, clearly amused.
Is that so?
Zack nods.
I wonder what she would think if you told her all of this.
Zack's eyes widen.
That would be too weird.
I don't know. I bet she would like it.
I'm gonna tell her if you don't.
Like hell you are.
Zack lunges, trying to punch me, but he swings wide and ends up stumbling. We both look at each other and start laughing. Amelia turns to Leanna and Kara.
Evidently, these two are in no state to assist us in our investigation.
Did he know me? I could help. What are we doing? I stop laughing and try to give them a serious face. I am in the greatest state.
And what state is that?
Drunk, a sexy state of New York. Not a gaseous state, but a solid. That sounds like my kind of humor. Not a gaseous state, but a solid. A solid! If I was in a liquid or gaseous state, it would be bad news for everyone. Amelia watches me with interest.
How curious. Although his mental faculties have been altered, he does not suffer a decline in word definition, but context interpretation.
She knows what's up. You use a lot of words.
All right, I think it might be time for you two to call it a night.
No, I'm fine. Zack lets out a wide yawn.
No, I'm still good.
Kara swoops over and firmly pulls Zack to his feet.
Let's get you back to your room then, okay?
He stares at Kara.
You know, on second thought, I think I'm ready to go back.
Looking amused, she glances back at me.
Are you coming?
No. I am now. Kara leads us upstairs and drops us off in our rooms. She stands by the door as we stumble towards the beds.
Sweet dreams. Hopefully filled with that limber adventuring girl.
Are you talking to me or are you talking to him? She winks at Zack as she closes the door behind her. As soon as I see my bed, I can't think of anything more inviting and gratefully fall into it. Zack does the same in his bed, and it's not long before the two of us pass out. That was fun. Not gonna lie, that was a lot of fun. I groan as the sunlight filters into my eyes, pulling me awake. When did it get so bright in here? Carefully, I blink open my eyes. What time is it? Judging by how bright the sun is, it must be some time in the afternoon. Pushing myself up on the bed, I feel something stir beside me. When did you get here? The Pongo blinks bleary eyes. What are you doing sleeping so late? Did you go on a drinking spree too? He blinks a couple more times and shakes himself. When he looks back at me, he seems much more alert. I glance over at Zack, who is sprawled out on his bed. His blankets hang ungracefully off the side of his bed. Zack. He snores in response. I walk over and cautiously tap his shoulder. Hey, Zack, wake up. He groans and rolls over, pulling what's left of the blankets over his head. Yep, he's done. Surprisingly, I feel fine. A little groggy and very thirsty, but otherwise fine. Means I'm the champion of our drinking match. I need water. I quickly get dressed and then head downstairs. Kara sits idly at one of the tables, but stands when she notices me.
Good afternoon, sleepyhead.
Don't mock me.
How are you feeling?
Fine, thanks. Where's everyone else? As we talk, I grab water from the bar and down it in one long gulp.
They left to get some errands done.
And you were tasked with babysitting duty?
I wanted to make sure you two were still alive. Did Zack make it?
Yeah, he's still asleep. She nods.
Since you're feeling better, make sure you take it a bit easier today. We've got some business to attend to this evening.
What sort of business? Kara smirks.
Last night, while you two were busy recuperating, we were tracking down thieves.
I think my night was more fun. What's so special about these thieves?
They've been stealing crystals. All kinds of crystals, including lamp crystals, which are essentially worthless in terms of resale value.
What's the point of stealing that?
It turns out the thieves are a bunch of kids just trying to survive. They told us a man pays them for the crystals, and he comes weekly to pick them up. Today happens to be pickup day, so we're going to meet back here at the inn around sundown.
Does this have something to do with finding the Earth Temple? Kara notices the confusion on my face and answers my unasked question.
My contact won't be back until late tonight, so we won't know our next step until then anyway.
Alright. She grins again.
Now that I know you're still alive and well, I'll be off. I still have some more scouting I'd like to do before tonight.
Fair enough. She leaves. Kara told me to take it easy today, so maybe I'll go on a walk. Get myself out, get some fresh air, stretch out, kind of walk the rest of whatever I'm feeling off. I begin to walk towards the town square. I follow my feet as it wanders the streets, taking my time and enjoying the bustle of the town. I'd forgotten how relaxing it is to have nothing on the agenda. When did you... Never mind. I'm not going to question it. See, I'm learning. Want to go on a walk with me? The Pongo bobs in a nod and we continue down the road. Eventually, we reach the square. I recognize the statue of Elena. A small brown dog, only a little larger than the Pongo, watches us. His tail wags slowly when he catches our attention. Pet the dog, play fetch. Ew, dogs, bork, bork. Well, let's see if we can pet it. Hey dog, are you lost? The dog wags his tail. I extend my hand and he cautiously approaches. After giving me a few good exploratory sniffs, he barked excitedly. Good boy. His tongue lolls out and as I scratch behind his ears. The Pongo bounces angrily. The dog stares at the Pongo as if noticing him for the first time. The Pongo pouts and jumps even higher. The dog cowers and whines. Pongo! What's up with you? I go to pet the dog, but the Pongo butts my hand away. Are you jealous? I reach out a hand and pat the Pongo, who seems to calm down slightly. The dog perks up as the Pongo relaxes. He wags his tail as he nuzzles the Pongo. The Pongo bristles at the dog's touch and scrambles back. He hops away, but the dog happily chases him. That's adorable. As the dog catches up, he licks the Pongo, who grimaces. Aw, he's playing with you. A little girl races over to the dog, who barks excitedly at her presence. She throws her arms around him and holds him close as he licks her face.
I thought I lost you.
Suddenly, she notices the Pongo and her eyes grow wide.
Oh, you're so cute.
I know, right? She gently pats the Pongo on the head, and his little frown melts into a smile.
Boy.
Yeah, you big softy, you.
Are you lost too? Boy.
He hops over to me. The girl looks me over, then smiles shyly.
Oh, hi.
Hey, is that your dog? She nods.
Thanks for finding him for me. Sometimes he's too fast and I can't catch him.
Mocha sniffs around my feet and nudges my hand to be petted, but the Pongo bounces between us. Stop being so jealous.
Boy.
The girl giggles and waves.
I guess we should be leaving. Bye-bye, little Pongo friend. Thanks for keeping Mocha company.
Bye. Before Mocha can escape again, the girl slips a leash around his collar, and the two of them gradually disappear from view. I look down at my Pongo, who looks back up at me. Put him on my shoulder, or he's fine where he is. I'm gonna pick him up and put him on my shoulder. That's where he belongs. I smile and pat his head affectionately. He squirms happily against me, then hops onto my shoulder and nuzzles my face. Yap it. How about we continue that walk together, Together, we head further into town. I decide to check out some of the storefronts and streets that I didn't get a chance to see yesterday. The Pongo wanders off whenever it gets too crowded, but he always seems to find his way back to me. After most of the day has passed, it's time to return to the inn. Leanna, Amelia, and Zack are already there waiting. Zack's scowl is fiercer than usual, but otherwise, he looks a lot better than this morning. Leanna stands when I arrive.
Here, I got you something.
She passes me a gauntlet similar to the one on her wrist. The sphere inlaid is the same color as Leanna's. That must be a wind crystal. Is this a manipulator?
Yeah, I was thinking about your last attempt at casting, and I figured this might be more helpful with future training. Having the manipulator as a focal point of concentration is how Amelia and I learned to cast.
Thanks. Kara finally returns, and the attention shifts to her.
The crystal pickup will happen soon. We should start heading over.
And we're going to head over next time. I'm going to end the episode here. As always, though, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to let me know by hitting that like button down below or leaving a comment. It really does help me out. And let me know, would you have stayed and drank with Zack like I did, or would you have gone out and explored the rest of the day and maybe seen what they saw and explored the thieves of these crystal thieves and these kids and see what that's all about? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you guys would have done as well. But I will see all you heroes in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. May the Force be with you, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.